factors in, and next year those guys are going to be much better from going through this part. And you never know how the season turns out. You're an injury here, injury there, away from those guys really playing significant amount of snaps.
Did the injuries to Exum and Kyle kind of lead you to that? Or?
Well, yeah, the way we play a nickel defensive back a lot of times now, you got to have a certain number of defensive backs ready to play, because if you get an injury and you don't have enough guys, now you got to try to catch those guys up to speed. So you just got to, like I say, those guys are talented. They're going to continue to progress as the season goes on. So we felt there was, that they were ready to take this step.
How much discussion was there? I mean, was it a tough decision?
Yeah, it was. For Greg, more so, because right now, once we got Brandon back and everybody was healthy, which way do you go with it? But I always believe you can never have enough quarterbacks. So there was somebody out of that freshman group that we had to bring along, and he was farther along than the other guys at that point.
Where's Revis playing? I mean, is he just a nickel right now?
Right now, he's playing. He's a backup nickel. If you got an injury, he can be your backup free safety. So he's kind of had to learn a couple spots, but right now we're just concentrating him at the nickel spot with the pieces that we have right now.
Where do you project him?
Down the road, he'll be a free safety. He's shown he's got enough ability to play nickel, but I think he's a free safety rover type guy overall. But he has enough versatility that he can play nickel. He's some of the Chuck, and that those guys can play in that triangle area, I feel.
As far as the Ohio State film goes, I know they got a couple of pretty big athletic wide receivers. What do you see out there as far as matching up with Kendall and Brandon?
Well, number 9, I don't remember this guy's name as well as I do their numbers. He's a home run guy. They got number 2, who's a dynamic, really fast kid. Maybe you can look up the names. And, they've shown some other guys who can make plays. Number 3, 17, there was guys who look like they can play in space and make some plays. Number 6 is a big, tough, physical guy. So they're Ohio State. They got talented guys, and we're going to look forward to the challenge of going against those guys.
What about Brandon on Saturday? It seemed like there were a couple times he got caught with his back to the ball. Was that just some, being out a lot, shaking off some rust? What was your conversation with him about that?
Well, I told him, I'm alternating him and Chuck in. I was alternating those guys some. He's got to work his way back. You got to remember, he didn't practice all spring. He missed mostly all the fall camp, so he's still got a lot of weighing off, working up rust, and getting himself back to go, and just trying to bring him along. But I feel, he's getting better. He's getting better. He's getting closer.
Do you expect that because of what Ohio State does offensively, that we'll see a lot of nickel on Saturday, or do you expect maybe a mix of both?
They're play a running back, but he's kind of a wide receiver, so you got to be able to do both ends of it with what they do. They kind of versatile with how they line up their personnel as 2 backs, but the other guys also got a lot of versatility, so we got to have versatility defensively.
How does that quarterback look?